campus of Cal State LA. It's graffiti. What concerns the university right now was some of the rhetoric and some of the language that was being used on signage throughout the university, but we have not seen any of that to our eyes so far. Big campus, but so far we haven't seen any of that. No, it is not as large as UCLA. It is, but it is well fortified. It is definitely a fortress, and you can see again. And Eddie, be careful of some of the signs because there is some work to do. But you can see again, Colleen, a number of pieces of furniture that were outside in this courtyard were being used to build this barricade. And these are people who, again, have no intention of leaving, and as far as we know, are not going to be pushed out anytime soon. But again, with the events this past weekend, with what the university is now addressing in that statement, going to change things here, that will remain to be seen.
Yeah. For your beliefs, and I belong to a group called Southeast LA for Palestine, as well as Pico with the Alliance for Liberation.
Wow, well done.
Thank you. It's been a really great combined effort from community activists. I like telling some people, like, this isn't something that we wanted to do. This is something that our circumstance forced us to do by taking up arms against the systems of oppression that have been successfully keeping the Palestinians from their own liberation for the past 75 plus years.
It's a public place. I must stand where I stand.
Cal State LA, it seems there's a lot of passion and a lot of commitment from the people we've seen here.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that a little
Absolutely.
bit?
I mentioned to a few people this week, if you look back during Vietnam, Occupy Wall Street, civil rights, the people pointing the guns at the students have never been on the right side of history. It's always been the students. The students, we like to completely disregard this generation. They're spoiled, they have their iPhones, this and that and this, when in reality they're the most educated, the most capable, the most intelligent and ready generation we've ever had to finally reject Israel, to reject the anti-Arab, anti-Palestinian bias that the US has frankly gotten away with since 9/11. And we're finally taking a stand. Everyone that you see here is a peaceful individual who is tired of watching other people suffer, knowing that we're paying for it. And you'll notice that as you're walking around this campus. It's a beautiful campus, but there's letters falling off the buildings. There's students here that are concerned with housing and health care and making sure that their loved ones have a roof over their head. And then you tell us that not only will the tuition increase every year, but now we know these divestments are directly going to fund the genocide. Just the top 30 universities in the United States alone possess over $400 billion of investments alone. They're hedge funds. This beautiful school is a hedge fund. Oh, thank you. It's been for so long we were told that this is an issue that's too nuanced, it's too difficult to understand, and in reality, education is no longer gatekept. We have the ability to. We were told by Zionists, "Go learn your history. Go learn your history." We learned our history, and that's why we're here.
Let's talk about what the university statement that they came out this weekend. They're concerned about the graffiti, they're concerned about the vandalism, they're concerned about using state property to build this encampment, and some of the rhetoric they claim on the buildings was anti-Semitic and was bigoted on some of the graffiti. I haven't seen that.
And you'll notice if you take a look at any other and I refuse to say solidarity encampment. This is a solidarity community. If you go in there, doesn't matter if you went to school. I didn't go to this school. I sure as hell didn't get into this school. I went to a cute little performing arts school down the hallway, down the street. But if you're here, your needs are met. You will get medical attention if you need it. You will get food. Our friends who are gluten intolerant or have like allergy sensitivities, there's food and community in there to provide.
But Lauren, what about what the university is saying? I mean, you're the graffiti and the vandalism.
If they were nearly as upset over graffiti and vandalism as they are watching a Palestinian child whose entrails have been exploded next to a bomb that says made in the US, we wouldn't be here. Property can be rebuilt. We have seen what the Berlin Wall fell. Were they upset when property can be rebuilt? We had beautiful cathedrals in France that the world gathered and rallied to fund. And The Catholic Church has plenty of money. You know who doesn't have plenty of money? Palestinians to rebuild their community, because Israel and the Zionist media conglomerate refuse to let the truth come out. The truth come out that this is a peaceful encampment until Zionist domestic terrorists decide that we're their next target.
And this encampment has no intention of going anywhere.
No.
The students and the people here are standing by their cause and what they believe.
Unless you can bring back 40,000 dead Palestinians, we're not going anywhere. Until they can promise us that our money will not go to create more dead Palestinians like every other generation has kind of put their head in the sand about, we're not going anywhere.
It's a very well-informed, knowledgeable group that we met here, and the few people that are willing to talk to us
as you mentioned
definitely seem
before.
to know.
Absolutely. As you mentioned before, there's little statements here and there about anti-Semitism. You can look at my wrist and see Hebrew on there. You can see plenty of our Jewish comrades in
No,
here.
I haven't seen it. That's why I was asking. I'm just curious.
And people seem to forget when they throw around the word anti-Semitism, the Palestinians are Semites as well. We go by, the calendar is called 2024 because we're going back 2024 years to the birth of Christ, who was a Palestinian man. So you're telling me that he is an important enough human being in human history to base an entire calendar off, but he is not worthy. Jesus Christ of Nazareth is not worthy to save his birthplace? I don't believe that. I don't believe a second that any of these students are going to fall for this Zionist rhetoric that's been pushed on us for 75 plus years. We're rejecting it. And that's why there's so much police response to us. We're finally the generation that says, we have nothing to lose. Our families are dying from untreatable illnesses. We all saw how COVID was handled. We all saw how rent increases handled. We all saw inflation, gas prices, everything. What do they have to lose? They have nothing to lose. And Palestine has everything today. And it is our responsibility to bear witness to the genocide that we have witnessed for 214 days.
Lauren, how's your Spanish?
Very poor.
Can you give us a couple of sentences? Just because it's our Telemundo, we also represent Telemundo 52, and I'd like to be able to get what you're saying to them.
The only thing I can, Viva Palestina, viva the resistance. People that speak Spanish, people that come from areas that have been colonized, knows what these students are fighting for. Israel has inflicted their terrorism on indigenous communities,